Hello, my name is Noah. I make music under the name Speelburg with 2 E's and a U. You know, because that's important to let people know.
I get by with a little help and hunger. I aim high, I'm under pressure and I wonder. No, I don't look surprised, wide-eyed and worth a try. Can you keep the conversation light? How my own supply, I moved a mountain on my own. I move in circles, you slowly walk.
Well, there's a few different reasons. I mean, the one that I tell people is that if you're gonna associate yourself with genius, might as well go with the very best. But also, like, it feeds into the things that I grew up with that, you know, I loved. I think having a name is generally, I don't know, like, unless you're calling your project by your own name, it can always be a little bit silly, and you know, it's all make believe and pretend. So having a name like Spielberg, it's quite fun. It evokes just all that pop culture that I grew up with. I've released a ton of singles and released a bunch of singles leading up to the record. And then now it's finally coming out as a collection of songs. I think it's cool to make an album. I think it's good, like, to set yourself that goal of, like, here's 11 songs I'm gonna write. Here's me trying to put all my thoughts together, and or at least here's all the things that I was into for that 2.5 years of my life. Because, like, you grow and you get into weirder or more, you get into different territory. But it's a good little timestamp of, like, this is what I was into, this is who I was, and hopefully people can listen to it and go, oh yeah, these are 11 songs that sound like they belong together, as opposed to just 11 random singles. You know, we're making sure to keep our distances. You know, you're not hugging. We're keeping the cast and crew down to a bare minimum. It's like me, a couple camera people, and then, like, I've got my, you know, my girlfriend's helped to star in it and been amazing with helping make these things happen. And we have a bubble of people that we kind of trust and that we, you know are keeping safe, and or at least we're keeping that conversation going every time. So if I'm using friends in the video, we're kind of being safe about it. But yeah, it's definitely tougher than it was before, but we're still making it happen. But I think that comes with the territory of anything that you direct. There's never, like, you never show up and you're like, yeah, this is exactly what I have in my head, and I don't know, you're always left with, like, a million surprises, and you always have to change whatever expectations you had and adapt by second by second, in a second by second basis. So adding a whole worldwide pandemic on top of that is pretty, I'm not saying that it's expected, but you know, you can deal with it.
So complicated. The relationship starts to shift and mutate, and it was so beautiful, so beautiful.
Well, so we've got a
whoa! Yes, yes.
So that's a piece of the video. Actually, that video is one of the ones I haven't directed. That was done by this amazing director and visual artist called Maris Jones. The song is called Gwyneth. I find Gwyneth Paltrow endlessly fascinating. She is a modern day icon. I was doing an interview yesterday where I was like, she's kind of like this cross between, like, Marilyn Monroe and, like, the Queen of England. and that she's like adored and like deified, but also kind of like maligned, and people love her, people hate her. I don't know. She's amazing. Yeah. So this song was written like 2 years ago. It went through different versions. I co-produced it with my buddy Lori, and now we got to do a video like a few weeks ago. Did it again down the road, small crew, same crew I've been using for all my other ones. I got to dance a lot in the video. We purchased some of the Gwyneth jade eggs.
Nice.
So we got a lot of like goop style souvenirs. And yeah, I don't know, like it's really fun to write a song about someone that people both love and hate. It's gonna, you know, you're gonna have a lot to talk about in a song. And it's a really upbeat one, and there's some like, none of it is done with any kind of meanness. It's all reverence to this glowing orb, this you know, heavenly body that is Gwyneth Paltrow and her brand and her identity and what she represents. It's very like, I'm in the middle of reading the Andy Warhol biography, and there's a lot of reverence for Hollywood and for pop culture, and for and especially at that time, like the kind of campness that went around with it, and it's super interesting. We're doing this campaign right now where we're trying to get Gwyneth Paltrow to star in or be involved with the album in some way. So I've been making a new little movie each day that stars. Let me get it for you. It turns out you can buy celebrity cutouts.
Yeah, right. I see them all the time. Look at this.
Yeah, so we've been making these short little movies to promote the record and the single. It's been quite fun, because you know they're tiny. They're like 15 seconds long. But it's been you know, me having a glass of wine with Gwyneth, my fake cardboard Gwyneth. It's creepy in all the fun ways. It was a hard thing as an album when I had all the songs to kind of go, okay, these are the songs that are gonna be the record, but yeah, there's a lot of different musical genres in there. There's, you know, all the stuff that I grew up with and beyond. And like I said, my mind just every few months, I'm just like, oh, I want to do something new and I want to do this new genre. But once we got it mixed, when we were getting it mixed, that was a real revelatory process, because it really brings the whole thing together. You're like, all your vocals sound like you suddenly, and they all sound together, and like the songs all sound like they're on the same album, as opposed to 11 ideas that were made over the course of 2 years. They sound like you sat down and consciously decided these are the, which is what you did, but when they're unmixed, they sound foreign to themselves. But yeah, as a body of work, it's kind of all over the place, but that's exactly the kind of album I love listening to. Like, there's, you know, innumerable albums out there that I could tell you, that have exactly that kind of everything goes aesthetic. Hi, I'm Speelburg, and you've just been buzzed.